Today we're going to talk a little bit about a tape measure and the different parts of the tape measure. This is the case, the thing that holds everything together. There's a clip to hold it on your belt. The blade is the part that has all the measurements on it. That's the working part of it. There's a lock to lock the blade in place, and then you can release it. On the blade itself, there's this thing called a hook, and the hook has 3 rivets holding it onto the blade. And it's supposed to move, so it's supposed to wiggle like that. How far it's supposed to move is exactly the thickness of that hook. So that's to give you an accurate inside measurement as opposed to an outside measurement. That hook would make a difference. So on this particular tape, they advertise a 14-foot stretch out now. And the blade's curved a little bit to give that stretch out and have it not collapse. Some different tapes have more of a curve to give it a long stretch out. And I prefer this tape because it's a little bit flatter, it's a little bit easier to use for me. This goes 14 feet, whereas you compare that to, this is an extreme difference, but compared to this tape, this might go out, a couple of feet, and then it collapses. So that you'll find that useful the longer the stretch out. On the blade itself, it goes from 0 to 12, and that's written in the middle. Then after 1 foot, after 12 inches, at the top it's 1 feet, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, so on. And then retains the inches on the bottom. So if I stretch this out to 10 feet, 1 inch, at the bottom it's going to say 121 inches, while at the top it's going to say 10 feet, 1 inch, which would be the same measurement. So you'll find that useful. Also on this tape, which is different than some other tapes, it has no measurements, so no fractional measurements. So this does have, as most tapes do, a longer mark for the 1/2 inch. The longest mark that goes top to bottom would be the full inch. The next longer mark, which would be this, is for 1/2 inch. The next one down would be for 1/4, then for 1/8, then for 1/16. Now, like I said on the bottom, this doesn't have any fractional measurements. If somebody needed a measurement of 10 5/8, I can go to 10 5/8. I know where that is. You'll learn that. 3 9/16, you're going to know where that is. I find that the ones that have the measurements down at the bottom, it's just a little bit distracting. It's a little bit hard to read. Also on this tape is a red rectangle, and it's every 16 inches on this tape to the full length. And what that aids in doing is for our 16-inch layout, which we're going to discuss later, it's marked so you can have a nice bright red reference mark for 16-inch centers. The other thing this has also is a black diamond at 19 3. What 19 3 represents is 19 3/16, which is not exactly that, but in an 8-foot span, it gives even spacing. So you'll use that. It's a little bit closer than 24-inch centers, a little bit further apart than 16-inch centers, so you can save some money and still meet required codes, but that diamond represents that, so that's on most tapes.